Hello, and welcome to a lesson all about direct quotes versus paraphrase. So, you may remember from our research in the Curiosity Project, there were different boxes on the Noodle Tools note cards: direct quote and paraphrase. So, I wanted to go back and talk a little about what that means and see some examples. So, first of all, a definition. What are direct quotes? What is direct quoting? Direct quotes are word for word copies of someone else's words. On a computer, we often do this with copy paste, Command or Control C, Command or Control V. That would be a direct quote. Here, for example, in the article you read today, here is a small section: reading, writing, are good for your health. We learn through the experiences of the characters we read about, Koch says. Because we empathize or feel what others are feeling, we expand our understanding of other people in other situations. We are also less bothered by our own misfortunes. So that's the original text. Here's an example of a direct quote. Because we empathize or feel what others are feeling, we expand our understanding of other people in other situations. Notice, because we empathize or feel this. I copied down to where the commas were, etc. Okay? Notice I've included quotation marks at the beginning and the end, and I put in parentheses after the quote where the source was of this quote. This is from the Dallas Morning News. So that is my saying who said this, giving credit to the person who said it. Okay? So here we have a direct quotation. Next, what's paraphrasing? What's paraphrasing? Well, paraphrasing is when you put someone else's ideas into your own words, not just changing a few words, but processing in your head and then writing it from scratch. So here's an example of a paraphrase. Same paragraph we saw before, yes? This is the original. But now look what it says here. According to the Dallas Morning News, by reading books about other people's lives and experiences, we become more empathetic to others. I didn't, I took the idea that reading gives us more empathy and I put that in my own words. I still say where I got that idea from because I didn't just come up with that idea on my own through my own thinking or research. So I cited that. So that's an example. Same idea, but this time it's my words. I read that, processed it, and gave you my version. Notice I don't have quotation marks here. I don't have quotation marks because it's my own words. I said that I got this from the Dallas Morning News, but I didn't put quotation marks because I didn't take their exact same words. I put it in my own words. This is a paraphrase. Beware. Beware of copy and paste. As soon as you copy and paste, you should put quotation marks and make it a direct quote. Direct quotes are great. Why not? You often have to use them. But if you want to paraphrase, do not copy and paste. But wait a minute. What if I copy and paste and just change a few words? No, that doesn't work. You want to hear my example? That's still plagiarism. If I made a song called Pineapple Sugar, hi. No, Harry Styles is still going to sue me. Yeah? You can't just change a few words. I think the music industry is a really good example of this. We have to give credit to the original creator, and just changing a few words does not make it yours. That's not a paraphrase. I can't say I paraphrased Harry Styles' song. I am plagiarizing his song. Okay? Still plagiarism, even if you change a few words. So if you intend to paraphrase, do not copy and paste. So, what is plagiarism? Plagiarism is using the words or ideas of others without properly acknowledging the source. Yeah? So, direct quotes are great and often required. But how do you acknowledge a direct quote? Well, you use quotation marks and you cite the source. Anything not in quotation marks is assumed to be your words. Okay? So, what does plagiarism look like? What do you mean? Well, here's my quote, for example. Same one. Here's what I wrote. Reading is important because we empathize or feel what others are feeling. Because when we empathize or feel what others are feeling, we expand our understanding of other people and other situations. So I, I'm sorry, that was right the first time, but notice what I've done here. This is what I turned in. Look at that bold part. It's exactly these words. There they are. But I didn't use quotation marks. So I'm saying I said this. This is me. This is my words. I chose those words. So if there's no quotation marks and no source cited, this is plagiarism. Yeah? So let's test your knowledge. Let's test your knowledge, okay? I'm going to give you a couple quiz questions here. Here's my original text. Move my face down. Raymond Marr is a professor at York University in Toronto. He studies the effect reading fiction and nonfiction has on our ability to understand what others are feeling. He found that children and adults who have read stories their whole lives were more likely to correctly identify the feelings and thoughts of others than those who do not read regularly. And then here's what I wrote. Children and adults who have read stories their whole lives were more likely to correctly identify the feelings and thoughts of others. I don't know where to put my face to get it out of the way. There we go. All right, what do you say? Direct quote or paraphrase? All right. Did you have a second to check? What are you looking for? It is a direct quote, word for word. Here is where it came from. Children and adults who have read stories. Children and adults who have read stories their whole lives are more likely to identify the feelings and thoughts of others. So this is a direct quote. What do I need to do to make this look right in my paper, in my essay, in my article? Add quotation marks and the source in parentheses. There's other ways to do the source, but I'm just showing you a real basic one to begin. All right, let's look at this one. Here's my original text. Why? Because when people are reading fiction, they are imagining what it is like to be in those stories, Marr says. When you read fictional stories, here's what I wrote. When you read fictional stories, you imagine being the characters. Okay, is the sentence there in white? Is that direct quote or paraphrase? When you read fictional stories, you imagine being the characters. Direct quote or paraphrase? It is paraphrase. Paraphrase. No quotation marks needed, but I do need to give credit. So here's what I added. When you read fictional stories, you imagine being the characters, according to Raymond Marr, a scientist that studies readers' brains. Okay, so I didn't come up with this idea, but I did put it in my own words. All right, next example. Oh, that is my only example. Just two. I thought there were four. All right. So thank you guys for your time and attention on this lesson. Direct quotes are amazing. Use them. Please do. You have to use quotation marks and cite your source if you use them. Paraphrase, also super important for explanation, for reiteration. Many times you need to put things in your own words. You don't use quotation marks then, but you do need to give credit to your source if you got this information from a source and not from your own experience, your own thoughts. All right. Thanks so much. Have a great day.